Hello and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Frooty and 7 Developer Diary, where I'm chronicling the development of my Space Harrier. Let's call it a tribute, not a knockoff. Yeah, that's right, tribute. So, it's been a while since I posted one of these videos. I've been doing a lot of work on the stages, but I also added a few new features here and there. Most notably, hey, volume control. So we got independent sound effect and music volume control. That's a wonderful thing. Not sure why I didn't do that earlier, but there it is, and it works. It's wonderful. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to play through what I have so far for the first three stages, which are all functional at this point. You know, they're obviously probably going to receive some tweaks and adjustments as I continue to test them. And at this point, everything is still a placeholder. I've been borrowing graphics from mostly Sega Master System games because... particularly Phantasy Star, because all the enemies in Phantasy Star are facing straight forward, which helps out a lot. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here. And this is the character select screen, which doesn't really do anything yet, but it will eventually. So here we go on stage one on my very, very placeholdery adventure. Now I am letting the sound effects play through the speaker here, so you might pick up the sound effects and music in the background over the mic. But see, stage one here, we got all these flies, which I graciously borrowed from Phantasy Star. Little hill action there, going up a hill. I need to tweak those explosion graphics, because they need to kind of die down. They're very obstructive right now. The explosions in the arcade version of Space Harrier, they have an animation sequence where they eventually die down to ground level and stop obstructing you. Not the Sega Master System version, though. Oh no, those explosions, they don't go down. But that can come later. That's a minor detail. So there's more flies shooting fireballs at me. I should be coming up on the boss here shortly. Oh, more flies. I hate bushes. I'm going to destroy the greenery. Oh, I ran into one. Ouch. So as you can see, the death sequence works just fine. There's no life counting at the moment. Whoa, okay, so here's the first boss. This is supposed to be the nest that these flies are coming out of. And it just keeps shooting these flies at me. I have to punch through the flies and shoot the nest. And it'll eventually break. Well, I would like to animate this at some point, like have the nest gradually start to crumble as you pump more shots into it. And it's down. So now we transition to stage 2, which is a forest area. This is a cool area here. So we got the trees coming out. I always love the dense tree areas in Space Harrier. I just like blowing up trees for some reason. Got some elephants here, which, again, borrowed straight from Phantasy Star. More trees. Oh! Wasn't paying attention, ran right into an elephant. Sorry, big guy. Oh, and you got these frog things that jump out of the weeds at you. I'm not sure about those. I'm gonna change them. Ah, here we go. These are cool. So I have these flower things here. You can destroy the flower on top, which shoots fireballs at you, but you can't destroy the stalk. So they're quite dangerous. Now we're fighting up a large hill here, blowing up more of these flowers. Oh! And there I go, running into an elephant. Get up, dude, get up! Okay, so we're probably coming up to the end of the stage here, real quick. And there's a dense little tree section, because I just love these so much. And there's some of the flowers in here shooting at me, too. Alright, here comes the boss, which is a giant one of those flowers. Now, this needs some more animation for... Again, this is very placeholder. I just went into GIMP and threw this thing together. I'm planning for this to have much more detailed animation to it, because at certain points it's invulnerable. And I'm going to have some sort of... something visual cue that lets you know that it's currently in this invulnerable state. Right now, that doesn't exist, but it will. And it's down. I love that. I put a lot of work into that destruction sequence. Alright, so here's stage 3, which is a very hill-focused stage, as you might be able to tell by the stage name. We got these boulders I threw in here. And hey, look at those guys. More Phantasy Star monsters, because they just work so well. And here's those awful towers from stage 2 of Space Harrier. And I just ran into a rock, because I'm an idiot. Alright, and the bouncing boulders, I really like these. Those were fun to make. Cresting the hill here. More boulders. Oh. And more Phantasy Star wing eyes shooting at me. Actually, those aren't wing eyes. Wing eyes are blue. More of these things. Oh, and here comes the avalanche sequence. This was fun to put together. Alright, and we gotta run uphill a little bit through a dense series of these awful indestructible towers before we get to the final boss that I've done at this point. So this thing is kind of cool. So it's got these orbiting rocks. Now these do push out, like right there, and at that point they can actually hit you if you're right in front of it. So you can't damage the boss until you destroy all these rocks. And there's one. And it's shooting fireballs at you the whole time, so you gotta be careful. Oh, and I just ran into one. Oh, get up here. Okay, now I can put some shots in the boss. This is another thing I want to animate. I like to have this rock facade just kind of crackling. It reveals the horrible eyeball within. And then it just starts launching fireballs at you like crazy. And then the game crashes because it tries to load stage 4, which doesn't exist yet. But that's about where it stands right now. And say it's coming along great. I mean, the engine is pretty solid. You know, seems to be working just fine. You know, a lot of the work right now is just designing the stages. And those are starting to come along. I mean, I think as I go along, I program more and more enemy patterns. It means I have a greater sort of kit to work with as I go into each new stage. So I expect the development of each stage is going to get faster and faster as I just build up these already programmed enemy patterns. Although programming the bosses is probably the most difficult part at this point, in addition to thinking them up, because those all have to be explicitly coded, you know, to do the correct behavior. Although they can also piggyback off some of the existing stuff, but not to the degree that the normal enemies can. But that's where we are right now. I just wanted to show that off. And hopefully, right now, the artist that I work with is working on the ending images for Magical Fairy Force, which is currently on the Steam store. And once those images are done, that game will be released. We'll have that out. And then I'd like to get him working on some of the stuff for this game. I think I might bring on a second artist to do some of the other art. I'm still kind of planning that. So at some point, I'm hoping to be able to start replacing these placeholders and doing some much better environmental stuff, like the ground textures and the backgrounds and things like that. But that's down the road. But the important thing is that we are moving forward and progress is being made. So I think that's probably where I'll cut this video off for now. And you know, once I feel like I have more to show, probably go ahead and show that. It might be after I get the first bonus stage done. I haven't decided exactly what the bonus stages are going to be at this point, but I'm getting close to the first one, so I'll need to make that call. And it's going to be fun to figure that out. But that's something for later. So for now, I'll be signing off and continue to pay attention to this channel for further updates on this game and all of my other exciting projects.